alignment. Virgin bitches in my third trimester. Shift ties, they tell me you lying. Don't care, just lay it beside me. Hate time, chasing a rewind. Hate time, I need more space and security. I need less voices, just you and me. I need your touch, not just scrutiny. Squeezing too tight, boy, you're losing me. Boy, you're losing. Gone, girl. You better learn how to face this. She's gone, girl. She's gone, girl. Never replace her. She's gone, girl. And gone, girl. You better learn how to face this. She's gone, girl.
Gone girl. I don't know. These sisters was a lot, y'all. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and this is my sweet perspective where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. We're here to put you on. And of course, I'm not here by myself. You see her, Struggle Reviews TV. How are you today, Tyra? And are you ready to get into this brand new Tyler Perry property?
I mean, never, but we're here. We're here with expectations of more in the future. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always down to talk about something with you, though.
Oh, yes, the dynamic duo does it again. We'll see what we can get out of here. We will never belabor the point. We are going to get right to it. But first, I do want to say hello to the beautiful people here in the chat so far. Aisha, I see you, sis. How are you? How are you? Hey, Bookworm 57, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Anakin, not Vader. Welcome back. Anakin was just over there with Insecure. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you guys so much for the support in all of our wild ventures in these YouTube streets. We really, really appreciate it. But Tyra, you know what we do. You know how we start. Every new show, every episode, I need to know from you, what were your overall thoughts after watching the episode?
So my lips get tight. Ooh. Okay. I went into this with a certain expectation, as we do with Tyler Perry properties, and it's called Divorce Sisters. And I know initially I did give Sisters a try, maybe for like a season or so, but with time, it just kind of became a little rigorous with how long we were staying in certain moments. So I kind of exited, but I did, for the most part, at least remember Sisters invoking something that first episode that made me go, okay, I'm gonna watch it next week. I'm intrigued to know where these ladies are going. I cannot say the same as far as an introduction. It felt like we were kind of dropped in, and Tyler Perry is kind of in this sisters universe so deeply that he maybe didn't feel that it was all that necessary to really introduce these ladies and ingratiate us. Like, we meeting them like this is literally episode 8. And I was like, well, no, I would think that we would want to be a bit more impactful with the very first episode to really be 10 toes down and go, hey, not only is this, in that universe, but this is totally different. These are new women. Get into them. See us next week. But it felt very low effort. And via my thumbnail, this was a very predictable start.
Oh, well, predictability. I mean that, it's it's a thing. I have to be honest and say that I tried to watch Sisters. I could not get into Sisters. I didn't even make it. I don't think I made it past episode 1 really. It was so daunting. There still felt like there were hundreds of episodes, and I just didn't know if I was willing to give it that time equity. The last dramatized like series. I'm not comparing the stuff he does on Netflix to like his OG work, which is on BET Plus or OWN, it used to be. But the last property I watched of his that was like one of those was The Haves and the Have Nots. Now,
Mhm.
while that also had 100 million episodes, it was just really super salacious. Out the gate, you were going to get something crazy, something that was just going to hold your attention. So I think I was expecting to get that over here, and it was very calm. I mean, we had a couple of moments of outrage, but not like I'm used to seeing in his other properties. So I was really curious about where this is going to go. I definitely agree. These ladies were just kind of thrown on us, and we really don't have a full concept of who they are yet, and it has to do with how he just paces things. It's just his world
Yeah.
and the way he tells stories, because I'm sitting here like, okay. And the fact that we didn't meet, we met like one husband. I
Hmm.
need to know who the other parts of this cast is. I know Ron Rico's over here. Where Ron Rico at?
Girl, I'm here for
Where
Ron. I
Rico?
told you I didn't care. I'm showing up for LeToya Luckett and I'm showing up for Run Rico. Respect to everybody on this cast first,
Where could
but
have
I'm here for LeToya and Run Rico Lee. That's who I'm here for, and that's who I want to get to.
Yes, Lakeisha, that's Kadeem. Kadeem, DeVal's wife. Yeah, she's over here. But yeah, it's par for the course. I like the by the end, it's kind of like, okay, we're on to something. I just really want to see where it's gonna end up. We got Long Duck Dong over here choking people out, getting choked out. It was, it was salacious, but not in the way I wanted sexy dicks. You know what I mean? Like, it just, you know. Anyway, series description. Divorce Sisters is about five friends: Rasheda, Geneva, Naomi, Tiffany, and Bridgette, all battle life and relationship woes at the same stage of divorce, marriage, and dating. But it's the battle within their circle that tests their true character and love for one another. What do you think of the premise? And was the sisterhood transparent or evident to you in this first episode? Because that's what I thought. I was like, okay, he's going to give us this loving group of friends that are just down from day one, and it's going to feel the sisterhood. Like, I'm going to feel that thing. I didn't yet.
Girl, did you heard me watching? I say, do they like each other? Like, is this? And I know we'll get to it, but like even the scene where we have the two ladies meet the divorcee all the way on the end, and how they interacted with her in her driveway. I was like, is she a friend or is she an enemy? I'm not totally sure. It wasn't that transparent to really cross over. It felt like they didn't want to talk to each other.
Mhm.
So it didn't that didn't jump out immediately to me. I'm just prepared to be sad, because when we didn't meet the husbands or get the gist of it all and how we went through these scenes, I said, oh, so we're going to start episode 2, same place, same day, same clothes.
Oh, yeah,
This is going to be
absolutely.
a very long, per se, drawn out affair, and we have to wait. So maybe that's something that we'll get later. But no, the sisterly bond was not felt. This could have just been called divorced.
Listen, at this point, because I'm like, where are we at? And it's like some we're supposed to imagine are still happily married. Right now, there's only two that we're supposed to think are divorced, and I think one is a single mom. But what we're gonna do first is get into each of these characters, the ladies' descriptions from the network. We're gonna talk them out, and then of course we'll get into the actual events of the episode. But let's start here with Rasheda, honey. This is our church lady, played by the LeToya Luckett. Graceful, strong willed, and endlessly compassionate is what the people say, okay? Rashida is the beloved first lady and pastor of God's Light Christian Church, a pillar of faith and elegance. She stands proudly beside her husband, Pastor Jefferson, played by Devon Franklin, uh, as both devoted partner and a guiding light to her community. In this first episode, we really see her at odds with her husband, but for what reason, we don't know. We also see that one of the young ladies in the friend group works almost like as her right hand at the church.
Yeah.
And that's really all we're getting. We know
Interesting.
that she seems devoted to the Lord. Geneva and them say she gonna be speaking in tongues if they hang around her. But honestly, at the core of who these people are, we don't have a great idea yet. Tyra, upon introduction, what are your initial impressions of Rashida? Does the log line, does the description make sense to you based on what we've seen so far? I don't
I
know.
mean, not yet. I'm sure Tyler will make it make sense in the next few episodes. The way that, like I said, we were just dropped in, it would have been nice if we weren't going to meet these women already in the midst of, like, we're already divorced and this is just what it is. We're meeting them kind of in the middle road of relationships, but we don't even get the fortune of seeing her be that happy first lady and running the church, and that's my pastor and my husband, and we're so, like, she already broken down. And it's we have that quick moment of, like, they don't even respect me, like, please don't dismiss or throw away what I have to say, especially in front of, the deacons or people. Like, show me that same respect. Like, I don't want my ideas or anything to be cast aside just in favor of what you have to say or do. I want that as the first lady. We get a little bit of that, but there's this strong disposition, like, she down, she unhappy, she don't like it. You're like, okay, okay, that's good, but I think you have to build something up to, so we can see what she's losing, or this ideal of
Mhm.
what she thinks she has. Like, I'm the first lady, and that's, God-fearing woman, God-fearing husband, very Christian. I'm here, I'm devoted to the church, like, I'm putting that time in. Kind of what we got with, what was that movie with Sterling K in,
Oh, that farce
Honk for
on
Jesus.
I know what you're talking about. You love
A
Jesus or
little,
something.
give us a little honk for Jesus before
Hmm.
we throw the wheel off the car, and just let us know how broken things are. But she is just already in such an unhappy space, so it leaves us to kind of want to rush to get to, okay, well, let's just be done with this, because we know your husband's trash.
Hmm.
We know your
Hmm.
husband's trash, and the longer we have her linger in this place, we're just going to be waiting for, when are you going to get away from this cheating, manipulating, not even valuing you as a wife, your opinion, or just the first lady, even just for appearances. He was bold and kind of, brass when we met him. So it just kind of doesn't leave us with a whole lot of places to go. It would have been nice to see the facade first before we got to the pastor ain't ish.
I agree. And again, we're alluding to like little things, like they're having a church meeting and it's like, how long do you need? Well, she gonna need 3 hours if the Holy Ghost is, moving in her, and just, just slight digs, and could you not? And could you maybe? And just
Mm.
looking miserable, and her friend having some tea, something we just don't know.
Mm. I will say, I think it'll be really interesting with her character to see how long she puts her faith in God in front of what she's going through with her husband. Like, is she going to tolerate it? Is she going to be no nonsense? Or is she going to be, very church? We don't divorce. God's going to work it out, and I'm going to work out my marriage. And,
Ooh.
like, what is going to be her journey? I'm interested in that, but Tyler didn't give us enough to really stick to
Yeah.
it this first episode.
I'm really hoping that she's one of them, like, ratchet to holy situations. Like, I really hope that she had a side before she came to the Lord, and we're gonna see that revealed as, and we'll get to the events of this episode, but I'm really hoping that she's not just super docile and just gonna take it and just gonna be
Yeah.
the devout. I hope that her character has more complexity than that, or at the very least, we get to see her evolve over the season. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Next, we have Geneva, honey, played by Kadeen Indria. Geneva is a powerhouse partner at her law firm, sharp, poised, and always 10 steps ahead. As she juggles the demands of motherhood, she also faces the quiet complexities of marriage with William, all while maintaining her trademark grace and composure. Now, baby, this ain't a suit that I've seen in their courtroom ever on behalf of the lawyer, that they were going to make sure we understood. She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I work for the law. I'm busy. I'm a busy lawyer. And so immediately, all I get from her character first episode is that she's a part-time mom, that the father does the lion's share of time and energy and effort pickups for the daughter, and the school lady, the teacher, made that very clear. We like to see, you every now and again. Your husband is the only one who ever comes to see about her. Like, are you even on the list to pick her up? Like, I've never seen you before, mom. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then also we have her defending one of her friends in her divorce and, getting some interesting information, and how she handled it was really telling for me as well. But we'll get to that. But overall, what do you think of Geneva and her character?
Shout out to Geneva. I am really tired of the alternate Tyler Perry lawyers universe. Tyler, there are so many careers. There are so many careers, or more so power driven careers. Everybody don't gotta be a lawyer, schnookums. There are other careers for these women. He gonna make somebody a lawyer. And you don't know nothing about these suits because you ain't stayed that long over there in them sister streets.
Oh,
And he was gonna have her titties out in the boardroom, at the meetings, at the law
oh,
firm. The chest was gonna be out. The back, the booty pumping, pushing, titty sitting up suits. You're gonna get those suits as a lawyer. You're not gonna see anything. We're not gonna disrupt any sexiness just because we're a lawyer. But there's potential here. I don't know why, and it's probably just my Runrico brain because I'm like, let's get to Runrico. They keep casting Runrico in these roles, even with just the little bit of character that we got from her. Because I'm a lawyer, and it's, well, mom, we value seeing, both parents. You're not as present. Well, I don't really have time. I'm a lawyer. This would, if we're going in this direction, I feel like this would be the third time that we have the relationship husband wife dynamic in Renrico where he's kind of the stay at home or something, to where he has a job to where he has more idle time, and it's, well, you're never home, you're never here, do you even see me? We saw him, what is the show with Eve and Brandy,
First
it was
Wives
called
Club.
Queens.
First Wives Club.
First Wives Club, that too, it
Season
was a
2.
show with, what was that one? The one where he was with Eve, he was married to Eve. What was it called?
Oh,
Queens
that
or
one they
Diva?
just did where they were childhood stars and came
Yes.
back all these years later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played the same role there. So I'm like, Tyler, I see you. I kind of feel like I see where we're going with this. But she does, I would say, have like pop off potential, because they have it to where, it's always with poise, nice, nasty, but you tend to like get on levels. I want to know why we feel like we're revisiting something like, well, girl, you remember last time you went off on the deep end, and like, yeah, has he been in situations before? It's interesting, but like I said, we only got so much of Geneva in her cleavage suit.
Yeah, only so
Yes,
much.
Aisha, Queens.
Talking her friend into dating, being an investigative reporter with her child, interrogating the baby about something ain't even had to do with her.
Mhm.
I'm very interested in what, I hope they don't make her a silly woman, a silly, crazy woman. Because, girl, ask your husband, why are we doing all of this?
But
Unless it's like you said, there's a past or a
there
history of
has
it.
to be, because even talking with the friend, it's just like, girl, you know my situation, but he would never. And she's like, you don't know
Mm.
my marriage or my husband. Like, it seems like she either has an idea that he's doing something, or there's been something done already in the past.
Oh Lord, moving on down the road to the angry black woman, honey, because he gonna have one over there with no rationale. Because Tyler, really, but we have Naomi, played by Portia Coleman, a high-strung, unapologetic, and a force of nature. Is she? Naomi is a woman scorned, and she's not done fighting. Recently divorced and still burning with fury towards her ex-husband Franklin, she channels her pain into power, refusing to be silenced or sidelined. We learned about her very early on that she has a very short fuse. She's not playing with anybody. She is out for blood when it comes to this ex-husband, because apparently he has wronged her and he left Bird, and for a white woman, you know what I
A
mean? Like,
white
that's what it's
woman?
giving. A white woman. If I'm
A white
lying, I'm flying. Listen. And so
John
she
left Birdie.
we find out she didn't got the money, she's got the power, but that's not enough. Like, I need to make him pay. And so we meet her very crazy with her friends that are defending her in her court case. She'd been kicked out the court because she's stalking the man. And just very unhinged. Tyra, what's your impression of Naomi? You think you're gonna like her this season? What do you think we can expect?
Girl, Naomi gonna get on my damn nerves. Why you so mad? Why, like, oh my god, there was a lot in the driveway. It was like, I was like, is she your friend? I immediately thought one of their husband had some outside kids, and she came there like, yeah, I need that child support. I didn't know where we were going. It was so immediately high strung, and I thought she just had to be conversing with some women that she didn't care for. They didn't want her there. I'm like, this is your friends group. This is your, your friends group. It felt odd just to be so abrasive immediately at the point. She's clearly a woman scorned. Got it. I'm cheated on, and this is something clearly. Hopefully she's, maybe it's Tyler. Hopefully she's layered enough for it to just be like, this is just a shell. This is something to conceal that I'm really hurt because of what happened. And I really love my husband, my marriage, and the audacity. I'm high strung for a reason, but if you pull back those layers, there's something there. Please don't give us angry, disgusted Black woman, high tension every single time. Like, it's a lot. It was a lot. I'm hoping that there is more to her, but she is very octane.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I too hope that there's more to her. Like maybe she has a heart of gold. Maybe she really is down for her friends. But I don't know. Characters make me nervous that are just solely driven for one reason and don't have much depth outside of it. Like right now, her whole character seems just hell bent on revenge. Other than that, we really don't know who she is, other than
Mhm.
obnoxious. Because everything's feeding to that. I would like to see eventually maybe a softer side to her. Maybe that mask can come up a little bit so we can kind of see who she is. Now Bridgette is probably the character that feel like I know least about. I don't know. I don't know nothing about this heifer other than she is, working at the church and God is her life, yet she's living with a man she's not married to. And so there's that. But Jennifer Sears plays Bridgette, compassionate, dependable, and deeply loyal. Bridgette is the quiet backbone of God's Light Christian Church, serving faithfully as Rasheda's trusted assistant, a devoted friend with a heart for service. She balances grace and grit in equal measure. Again, T was shown, or excuse me, what was it? What's gonna say? Whatever shade was thrown at Bridgette at the nail salon when she said, yeah, you Christian and all that, but you're living with a man that's not your husband. So, like, what's your next step? I'm wondering if she's gonna get like the goody two shoes edit, and she's gonna be kind of the one looking down on everyone and their foolery as they go on. She just seems very quiet and very mousy though so far, and I want to see more from her.
I feel like that man talking to Bridget crazy. I don't know why. Something in my spirit makes me feel like Tyler got that man over there talking to her crazy. I hope not. I hope not. I think it's really interesting that we decided to place, a character in the friends group, like in the core friends group, as an assistant to one of the ladies. That dynamic is interesting. I would think that we would want to give all these ladies like equal autonomy in every single way possible, at least. But her in this episode just kind of chiming in, "Hey, like you okay?" And then once again, it felt like, well, I need to be whatever, in this meeting, and I'm really hurt by what my husband said. But my girl is in here. Let me let that wall down. No, girl, I'm not okay. Like this is. It was just like, she treated her like an assistant. It didn't feel like an assistant who was any type of friend. I really didn't get that kind of connection between them. So I was like, it was really interesting, Tyler, for you to make her the assistant to Miss LeToya. That's interesting. I hope that she isn't, being mousy and mistreated. And, soon come marriage, soon come, if I just, well, he
Right.
loves me, but, he didn't come home. He said he had to take his sister to work in the morning. I don't know. I hope it's not that. And she has a totally different narrative. Please don't have that man over there talking to her stupid or using her. I hope that's not what this is. Just
We'll
saying.
see. The trailer looked interesting. The trailer's gonna show you everything that happened in the season, and they all wearing these same outfits. So it don't. It seemed like it's gonna be maybe just a day in the life. But yeah, I mean, I hope more for her character. But that's a great observation because everyone does seem established in their lives, and a
Mhm.
certain level of wealth, like they've attained or arrived. And she does seem like the one that's kind of still, struggling, just like a bystander. So it'll be interesting to see how she intersects with the other ladies in the group. And then finally, over here, we have Tiffany, a devoted single mother with a child in college. Tiffany's a loyal friend and hardworking realtor striving to rebuild her life in the wake of a difficult divorce from the absentee husband. She's determined to stay afloat, facing each day with quiet strength, resilience, and unwavering grace. Again, this is who we see immediately with Geneva, like maybe they're kind of the closer friends in the group,
Mhm.
like each other's confidants. Tiffany is gun shy about dating, and Geneva is trying to push her off that ledge, baby. Like, get out here. It's time. The divorce, the ink is dry. You've had a little time. Get out there and get your cootenanny wet, basically. And she's like, no, I'm not ready for that. So I'm wondering if we'll get into the thick of what happened in the relationship. It really seems like it may have been traumatic. But what do you think of Tiffany, and what do you think we can expect from her character?
Girl, I'm still sat back at child in college. Maybe I missed that. I thought the way she was talking, I thought this was like, he ain't leave me nothing. I got this child over. I was like, did you? I thought this was a small
A
child.
minor child.
I thought they did play dates, small child. I'm like, oh, this is something removed. Um, I don't. She was maybe the one, and I felt like she was talking the most, and I was the least intrigued by. It just
Mhm.
didn't, along with Mousy, but she I'm not sure about her arc because all the women just kind of already seem to be in the middle of something where she's already divorced. So I'm assuming that we're going to have her stepping out on faith and dating again and trying to, give that vulnerability to somebody, maybe dealing with trust issues. Maybe I don't want to see any combativeness with an ex-husband or anything like that. Hopefully she just gets the perspective of I'm divorced, have been for quite some time. The cootie catty is it's hot. It's cobwebs. I ain't getting none, don't want none, ain't seen none because I've been through so much. But now that my baby's in college, that's not, on that little crutch anymore. Now that I need to maybe just think about myself, let me see what prospects I have as a, divorcee. Hopefully that's all she is.
Hopefully, but she also gives supporting cast. Like, she also gives crutch and my person to lean on in
Mm,
Geneva's case. So it'll be interesting because Tyler's going to test the boundaries of that friendship since that's the one that seems the closest right now. He definitely
mm.
going to throw a wrench in there. Hey, Zoe, good to see you. He might be DL. Tyler loves that. Listen, we know
Oh.
he does love it. It's a common trope he uses in here. Andrew, the title of the show got me weak. Tyler Perry needs to be in jail for this. Listen, this is the least of his crimes, I'm sure. To me, it sounded like she had a child in college, but also a young child, and she may have more than one.
Does she?
This was
Okay.
just this was just what was on the site, honey, what they had published. Now, getting into the story of the episode, and again, there were just three main events that kind of happened in this episode. So let's start here with what's her name? Naomi. Sexual
Mhm.
deviancy and revenge, honey, with Long Duck Dong, because we know he got it. We know him over there at the Eden, all right? We know who he is. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey, that season with Portia, when the lights went out and all we could hear was the microphone. You know who this man is. This 18 inches over here. Ain't nobody playing with him. But apparently Naomi, in the midst of her hate and anger, hires Smex workers to eat that cootie cat. Because basically that's what she says when he gets there. You gonna eat this cat. You gonna eat this cat. You gonna eat this cat.
Ma'am.
And
So
I
forceful.
mean, he ate it, he flipped it, he smacked it up, rub it down. Next thing we know, they're in the bed and she's got a collar and a leash on this man. He is gasping for his last breath and she's asking, "What are you doing? Do you have the vid?" Ma'am, you're choking him out. You're choking him out. And then, of course, we get to see some verbal abuse from him. She pulls a blicky at one point. He licks said blicky. He then gives her his burner account so she can continue to stalk her ex's new woman. Like, this is sick, twisted, and toxic. Tyra, talk to me about Naomi and sexual deviancy, revenge, and licking blickies and
Why
eating
Tyler
cat.
had that man lick that gun? Why Tyler had he could have just licked the cat? Why we need that man to lick that gun, Tyler? Can you please leave Bolo alone? Can we not? Like this here, I wish I could have enjoyed it. I wish I could have been in that bedroom with them. Like, okay. It was too okay. I get what he's trying to do with Naomi and all this force and strength and strong black, mad but with autonomy, and I can give you a low key kind of whips and chains dominatrix and all of that because you're just here for one thing, to eat this cat. Okay, here for it, eat the cat. The camera angle was questionable, but eat the cat. Okay,
Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
it was borderline grapey, and I didn't like that.
Mhm.
If he's there, for a certain thing, because we know the little hired he holds if he over there at Club Eden over there with Eva. We know what they show up for and what they're paid for. I've never seen him act like this on that show.
Mm-mm.
Now, granted, I haven't watched that. Child, we binged it all. I haven't watched that particular, like, this most recent season, but as far as customers, he's never done this before, and I just thought that it was interesting that, like, when he grabbed her arms, I was like, what,
Mhm.
what are we doing?
Or
What
when
are
he
we
said,
doing?
"I
This
could hurt you. I could hurt you, or I
I
could
could
snap."
hurt you. Like, I
Yeah.
could. Like, and I know what he's trying to do with them. This is probably where we're going to get the most of our, like, maybe like hypersexual scenes and, certain scenarios where, like, ooh, this is steamy. Oh, okay, Tyler, you're taking it there. But let's not go in the direction of, too far, even if we are a male escort. You want to read this
Girl,
comment?
Too Far is his middle name. And thank you for saying this beauty name, Brandy. I didn't like how he was pocket watching. I bet he's going to blackmail her down the road. Baby, look like he was casing the joint. Is this your house? This your house? Before he even walked in the door, I was like, black folks, we can't have nothing. You
He
ain't never
was.
been
I don't need
nowhere.
nobody popping out. And I don't even think it's that. I think Tyler was just using it. Oh, so you don't think a woman can afford to? And we
Oh,
know
God.
in the divorce, she took everything but the man mustache. Like, they made that clear. Like, girl, you got everything, baby. Just let it go. Let that man have. It's not about the money or any of that for her. And even the way that we had to linger in the moment of him even getting to the point of, girl, let me put my password in here. Like, oh, it's a white woman. Oh, she definitely let me in. I got this. Like, it's that. I
No, damn.
appreciate, the lustful of it all. Y'all know I love a good smack scene, but first of all, don't lick another gun, brother. I don't want to see you lick
Please
another
don't.
pistol.
Ugh.
Can we please not? And I I don't know how long he's going to be crossing over from the Eden, but if there is potential for, I guess, something to develop to where it's like, I see something in you beyond this, that's cool. But and there are ways to be erotic, but it was a bit much to me. I wasn't hot, not in that way.
No, it wasn't steam heat. It didn't tweak my melons. It didn't get me anywhere. Now we're in discovery and questioning with our lawyer, Geneva, honey. This was crazy to me. The baby goes, "Damn, baby, you sure look good," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. She's playing with her doll. "Damn, baby, you sure look good. You look good as hell," or something like that. And the mom laughs at first, and then she's like, "Baby, what'd you say?" "Damn, baby, you sure look good." That's what Daddy say to the lady at the school who does. What lady at the school? What's the child's name? What's her last name? When's the last time you saw her? I mean, the interrogation of this baby about your husband talking crazy to women at the schoolhouse is insanity, Geneva. So now Geneva has to go on this quest because it's a problem. So she goes after hours to the school after the teacher told her, "I can't give you no parents' names. If you come to the PTA meeting, maybe you'll meet some parents. Since your husband's the only one who ever shows up," she sweet talks the janitor, goes in there and finds out that the little girl, the baby's mama, the woman in question, owns a yoga studio. And so I'm assuming next episode we're going to see her go to the studio to confront said woman. But Tyra, what I want to know is, what for? She can't control what a man says to her. It's your husband. Talk to your husband. This is the weirdest crap I've ever seen. And would you ever interrogate your child like this?
Yeah, I would.
Interrogate my baby. Let me tell you
Not
that.
interrogate, but, baby, tell me more, because he ain't gonna tell me nothing. I was like, girl, shut up, let her talk to her daughter. She's trying to get information. She's trying to get information. She wasn't going like, it was very like, oh, well, what
Baby
else?
was like, "I don't
Well,
know, mama. I don't know." Yeah, you do. What was there? What's the
she
little boy
didn't
name?
say that. She was inquiring, and we cut it off before we could get any more information. But yeah, if there is an issue, address it with your husband. You wait till that man come home and said, "Baby said X, Y, and Z." Who are you talking to? Why would she even say that or hear that enough to want to reenact these scenes with her dolls? But we have to give her a storyline. So we're gonna have her sneak and peek around corners and have this elongated conversation with the janitor. And oh, a goy, she does yoga backwards. Yeah, what? Tyler, please,
God.
please, Tyler. But it's like, girl, you know, you go off on these things and da 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 da. And like, this is yet another time. Like, I think he wanted us to question it. Like, is this another time where she's going off and jumping to conclusions when her
Mhm.
husband could never? Or is he actually over there stretching out them yoga pants? The world may never know. I guess we'll have to wait on that. But as a woman, what you addressing the other woman for? How she called? Like, aren't you a lawyer? Even I know that as a teacher, you can't call. I'm not giving you anybody's information over the phone for another parent or a student, regardless of a play date. Are you
Right.
not a lawyer? But it's like, oh, okay, yeah, all of this when we could just go directly to our husband. It's cool, but we'll see what happened. But you need to talk to your man. What you going to see that Goga lady at her studio for?
Yeah, for why? For why and for what? And easing on down here to the last slide. Again, this was again just the stuff that stood out to me. All right. A ministry, a marriage, and a mess here. Again, we get the dynamic that there is trouble in this marriage, this relationship. They basically have to be together for the sake of the church, is what it's giving. Now, the wife is also a pastor, not just the first lady. So she's counsels, and apparently this is really her priority. She really wants to see change in the world. We're to believe at this point that she is a devout Christian that loves God and loves the people. And so, as the episode wraps up, after we've seen their little nice, nasty exchanges, she is counseling a young girl. And it comes out, the young girl says, I was convicted when you spoke last Sunday, and I feel like I've wronged you. Well, in what way have you wronged me, my child? I've been smashing and dashing with the pasta. And then, of course, there's the look of shock and awe. And, I want to cry real tears. And we don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm inclined to hope that she snaps a little bit on this girl. But also, the girl, was she underage? Is she 17? I'm trying to remember. I thought I heard that in passing. You guys drop it in the chat if you remember how old she is, but she looked young. So I don't know what Pastor's up to with his degenerate nature, but I'm very interested to see what this response or blowback is going to be after this session. Tyra, ministry, marriage, and a mess.
I mean, but that's the thing. What we were watching, I was like, girl, if you don't hurry up and spit out that you sexing on that woman husband so we can get out of here, like, I don't mind predictable Tyler, but this was a bit much. Like, I think we already knew because we didn't have anywhere to go because there
Mhm.
was already that unhappiness immediately when we saw and met them. Like, he got high strung, he angry. Like, what you mad for, Pastor? What are you upset about? Like, I'm indifferent on whether or not she's going to like I don't think she's gonna, oh my God, or da, da, da. With the disposition that she has, it feels like it's gonna be another one. Really? In our own church? You couldn't take that outside elsewhere? Like, it feels,
Mhm.
they give me that. It gives me, I know about it. I know what he does, but I never thought that he would make the church his stomping ground, especially anybody who's been a part of our ministry. This is too close to home. I feel like their marriage is already broken and she's just holding on to the facade because I'm the first lady and you're the pastor. I don't think there's anything here.
Mm.
Not in
So
that way. I think it's loveless.
this is literally just for show and just for the purpose of appearances at the church then.
I think
I mean,
so.
yeah, DeMarcus, I think he left, but hey, DeMarcus, I saw your comment and he compared her to Lady May from Greenleaf. Now, Lady May, an old fool. I don't know. We gonna see how she moves, but Lady May was a force to be reckoned with. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see what Rashida does. But yes, Lakeisha, that is Devon Franklin. It is playing the no good passer of the
Yeah.
church.
If it's like, oh my God, like how could you do this? I would be surprised because it wasn't like the way we're meeting them. It's I'm like, would you would put this past him? It just didn't. I think she would just be like, really in our church? Are you out of your mind? Like I think it's going to be that. I think we're going to have to deal with her maybe trying to find herself outside of church and know that she doesn't have to settle and just be in this loveless marriage for appearances and maybe she can have her own damn church, who knows, but we shall see, but we have to go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I mean we did get kind of alluded to the fact of can you just talk to me nicer here? Like this
Yeah.
has been going on. Whatever the turmoil has been in their marriage, whether it's infidelity, disrespect, all that, we can see that she's been putting up with stuff for a long time, very long suffering. So I almost hope she spazzes out on Devon Franklin. Slap him
Oh,
up
that
a
would
bit.
be
I just can't believe he's even over here. Devon, what are you doing?
and he's so like nice and yes, and in like the public eye. So to immediately it's like, cut that off. You're a mad ass pastor. I was like, oh my god, Tyler Perry, you gotta just snatch the man's spirit away. God.
Yeah, he can't help
Yeah.
himself. But you guys, in a nutshell, that was the first episode of Divorced Sistas. And like I said, the Sistas is up to something. You know, the jury is still out. We are committed to at least covering these initial episodes and coming back weekly. Shout out to the 63 people who came here tonight. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Any other thoughts about the show, Tyra? Anything you want to let the people know you have going on?
Oh, this is definitely a live that is warranted on the engagement that it gets. This is never in my wheelhouse. I already knew kind of what we were walking into with Tyler, and this is going to be something tedious. So if you want us to keep returning and keep engaging in all things Divorce Sisters, please comment below what you thought about our commentary and maybe what some of your predictions are, or if you want us to keep going with the story at all. It's really depending up on that if we get some eyes on it. If not, because this it's gonna be like watching dough rise.
It's gonna be, and I know Tyler. Mid-season, it'll probably pick up a little bit. We'll get some whatever,
They
but it'll be
said,
like,
well, did y'all like the episode?
um. Now I was avoiding that intentionally, Dane. Nobody asked for that. We weren't. We Tyra.
Jane, like is such a strong word. Like it's you have to walk into this like if it's not going to be over the top like Beauty and Black, then you play the long game. You play the waiting game with these shows. So it's not liking. It's something that you could potentially be invested in because of how messy it is or how messy it has the potential to get. But like, no, this was awful. It was uninspired. I'm not gonna say awful. That's a strong word. It was just uninspired and just very predictable in that way. I knew every single lady's story. I felt like before they even opened their mouths. So
Yeah. Rod, we missed it too. We missed it too, boo. We missed the interview with a
I
vampire.
said, "What is this?"
What is the difference between sisters and divorced sisters? Just that these are
Yeah,
divorced.
divorce. They're, in the midst of a divorce. All of those sisters, nobody's actually married. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the show in a while. Married in that space, from what I remember. But these, these are been there, done that, married, divorced now, or have the potential to maybe get divorced right now. But
Yeah.
that's literally it.
Ashley ready to be a mother to my adopted daughter. Chuck.
Ciao. Chuck gonna try it every time.
Every time. But you guys, that was the episode. Thank shout out to the 70 people here. All right. Y'all come through. All right.
Yeah.
And Not Pretty Girl said, with all due respect, put this way in the back of the closet and shut the door. Both your detailed as usual in-depth rundown was entertaining, but that's it. Love y'all. We
Love you,
love you
Danny.
back.
We're gonna try to make lemons out of lemonade until he gives us something. This is which is crazy. This is the show that would have benefited from a 3 episode premiere. This is when they don't give it to us, or at least a 2, giving us this one little appetizer of nothing. You're trying it, Tyler. He's testing it, but he knows they're going to support, just like it was with Sisters. We come to these shows because we want to see ourselves,
We
not in
do.
these characters, but just like the
That's
girlfriends,
true.
Harlem, rap-ish, insecure. You want to see yourself because it's not too many times that we're going to see each other out, on different shows, or like this sister-like dynamic. When we see, 4 or 5 sisters standing on a poster, we meet my girlfriends. This ain't that. My girlfriends. This isn't that. But if we have some potential of like, well, we could get something, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah. And we
Try to
want to
watch
give everything a shot. And it was like one of those properties that's coming out that didn't have a million seasons to catch up on. And it's something that we could try from the beginning. And like I said, the haves and the have nots, I watched that probably much longer than I should have, baby, but I was hooked on the edge of my seat. I was watching because what else is Tyler going to do over here? So we have hope. We're keeping hope alive, but we appreciate y'all. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Well, I don't have BET Plus. Guess I won't see it. See, Golden, no cop outs. You know, anything could happen in the
Well,
Discord, man.
well,
Anything could happen in the Discord. Anything. See, did you ladies like the haves and the have-nots? I stopped watching it because it just became bedlam. But I don't know if like is the word I would use. I honestly, it was out of curiosity. And I did like some of the characters over there. I can't lie. Like Veronica was hell on wheels. And I enjoy seeing a villainous villain. And Tyler's gonna do that every time. Somebody gonna be terrible. And she was terrible. And I came back for her. Yes, Rod.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Three
I've never seen it before. I've never seen it
give
before. Half and half nuts.
Elsa, give it 3 episodes and revisit maybe. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna come. We are. We have every intention of trying to ride it out. Now, if this does something, back by popular demand. That's
Mhm.
different. But if it's this is
No.
definitely not a labor of love that I would put on my back at all. No.
But y'all, we love y'all. We appreciate you guys so much. I will leave y'all with the little Divorce Sisters intro. Be sure to subscribe. Please like if this is up your alley and something you want us to continue, or if it's not, please drop it in the comments after the video post. That helps us like it, hit the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, what are y'all doing? Subscribe, y'all.
Please.
Come on. Help a sister out. But yeah, we will see y'all in the next video.
Straightforward, eyes on the prize.